It's not every day that a Hollywood producer drops a revelation that sends shockwaves across tabloids and royal rumor mills alike. But when Trevor Engelson, ex-husband of Meghan Markle, opens up about the real reason behind their divorce, the internet pauses, eyebrows raise, and gossip enthusiasts everywhere lean in. And yes, this time, it's even spicier than the usual Hollywood splits. At 49, Engelson has decided to tell his side of the story. And his confession has left fans, royal watchers, and casual readers scratching their heads. So what really happened behind closed doors? Let's dive in. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. Picture this: Los Angeles, sunshine, celebrity-studded parties, and a whirlwind romance that seemed straight out of a rom-com. Trevor Engelson, a rising Hollywood producer known for his knack for spotting talent and his suave demeanor, met Meghan Markle at a time when both were carving out their respective paths. Sparks flew instantly. Friends described them as inseparable, always laughing, always plotting their next adventure. And let's be honest, who wouldn't be captivated? Meghan, a charming, ambitious actress with a radiant smile, and Trevor, a dashing producer with connections to Hollywood's inner circles. They were the ultimate power couple in the making. Red carpets, film premieres, dinners with A-list celebrities. It was the picture of perfection. But if Hollywood has taught us anything, it's that not everything that glitters is gold. Behind the glossy photos and Instagram-worthy moments, subtle cracks were beginning to form. Could you really imagine spending your life in a relationship where appearances matter more than reality? Where every laugh might hide tension, and every Instagram post is carefully curated to tell a story that may not be entirely true. And that brings us to the first hint of trouble: the divergence of priorities. At first, the differences between Trevor and Meghan seemed trivial. After all, isn't it normal for couples to have disagreements about careers, schedules, and who forgot to pay the electric bill? But in this case, it was more than just everyday disagreements. Trevor was deeply rooted in Hollywood's production world, chasing film deals, negotiating contracts, and cultivating a lifestyle that demanded long hours and unpredictable travel. Meanwhile, Meghan had her eyes set on a broader stage, one that would eventually lead her out of Hollywood entirely and into global prominence. It's like watching two trains on the same track initially moving together, only to realize they're heading to different destinations. And here's the kicker. While Trevor was building his empire in Tinseltown, Meghan was preparing for something much bigger than anyone could imagine. Have you ever been in a situation where your dreams started to pull you in different directions from the people you love? That tension, that unspoken friction, can quietly erode even the strongest bonds. And, according to insiders, this was exactly what began to happen between Trevor and Meghan. Now, let's get to the controversial part. The reason Trevor Engelson reportedly gave for their split. In a recent revelation, he claimed that Meghan has no womb, implying that fertility issues were part of the strain on their marriage. Cue the gasp, cue the tweets, cue the endless speculation. This statement, as eyebrow-raising as it is, opens up a broader conversation about the pressures of marriage, societal expectations, and the incredibly personal nature of family planning. It's no secret that many couples face challenges when it comes to children. Some openly discuss them, others keep them private, and some are left to navigate disappointment silently. But let's pause for a second. Is it fair to reduce a complex relationship to a single, sensational factoid? Of course not. Love is rarely simple, and even the most glamorous Hollywood relationships have layers, nuances, and private struggles that the public rarely sees. Yet Engelson's confession, blunt as it is, forces us to consider an uncomfortable reality. Sometimes, personal circumstances, however delicate, intersect with expectations in ways that create insurmountable pressure. Have you ever wondered how much of a relationship's downfall comes from external pressures versus internal incompatibilities? This revelation begs exactly that question. Once Engelson's statement hit the press, the response was immediate, loud, and unrelenting. Social media exploded with debates, memes, and conspiracy theories. Was he justified in revealing this private detail? Was it an attempt to control the narrative before Meghan's royal life overshadowed his own Hollywood career? Humor, irony, and drama all blended in the public conversation. Memes appeared of Trevor holding a microphone with exaggerated expressions like, "Finally, the truth," while royal enthusiasts dissected every word Meghan had ever spoken in interviews. It was the perfect storm of gossip. Personal revelation meets global curiosity. But there's something fascinating here, the human tendency to latch onto scandalous details. Why do we, as a society, react so strongly to revelations about others' private lives? Is it the schadenfreude of watching the famous deal with problems we often face ourselves? Or is it simply a fascination with the inner workings of a world we'll never truly inhabit? Whatever the reason, the media coverage served as both a magnifying glass and a magnifier, turning a personal disclosure into a story that spread across continents. And in this environment, Trevor Engelson became the focal point of both sympathy and scrutiny. Here's where it gets reflective. Engelson's choice to reveal such an intimate detail raises a critical question. When is it appropriate to speak openly about private matters? In Hollywood, and indeed in everyday life, this balance is tricky. On one hand, transparency can be empowering, offering insight and perhaps closure. On the other, oversharing can damage reputations, hurt relationships, and generate backlash that lasts for years. Consider this. How many times have you shared something personal with a friend, only to regret it later when the information spreads beyond your control? Now imagine that on a global stage, with millions reading every word. The stakes are exponentially higher, and the consequences more permanent. Engelson's revelation serves as a cautionary tale. Words have power, and in the age of instant information, they travel faster and farther than ever before. Yet, despite the risks, speaking one's truth can also be liberating. For Engelson, perhaps this was a way to reclaim his narrative after years of watching Meghan's life make headlines in a context he had little control over. And in that light, there's a lesson for all of us. Taking ownership of our stories, when done thoughtfully, can bring clarity, even if it comes with challenges. Let's be honest for a moment. The situation is absurdly juicy. A Hollywood producer, an ex-actress turned duchess, fertility rumors, and global media coverage. It's the kind of scenario that feels like it belongs in a satirical film rather than real life. And yet, amidst the tension and judgment, there's room for humor. Imagine the reactions of casual fans scrolling through headlines. Trevor Engelson drops the ultimate bombshell, followed by a string of GIFs, memes, and emojis that capture shock, laughter, and disbelief all at once. Humor becomes a coping mechanism, a way to digest the intensity of the revelations. After all, if we can't laugh at the absurdity of celebrity drama, are we really engaging with it fully? Have you ever caught yourself laughing at a headline that, logically, you probably shouldn't? This is the paradox of modern media. Drama and comedy often exist side by side, each amplifying the other. And in this story, the blend is irresistible. Beyond the gossip and memes lies the human story. Love, expectations, disappointment, and difficult choices, all elements that transcend celebrity and royalty alike. Trevor Engelson and Meghan Markle's split, like many divorces, likely involved a complex web of emotions, timing, and personal aspirations. It's a reminder that behind every headline, there are people navigating deeply personal struggles. Fertility, career ambitions, and public scrutiny are challenges many couples face, even if they don't make it to the tabloids. The difference here is scale, not substance. The emotions are universal, the consequences magnified. So, as we digest the scandalous elements, let's also consider empathy. How do we reconcile curiosity with compassion? How do we balance fascination with the understanding that these are real human beings facing real dilemmas? If there's a silver lining in this whirlwind of celebrity revelations, it's that there are lessons we can apply in our own lives. Communication is key. Whether in a Hollywood marriage or your everyday relationship, honest conversations about expectations, desires, and limitations prevent misunderstandings from festering. Boundaries matter. Decide what's private and what's public. Oversharing can lead to unintended consequences. Embrace empathy. Everyone faces challenges, even those whose lives seem glamorous. Approach stories with curiosity, not judgment. Control your narrative. Don't let others define your story. When ready, speak your truth thoughtfully. Find humor where you can. Life, even in dramatic or awkward situations, is lighter when we can laugh at it. By taking these lessons to heart, we can engage with stories like Engelson's and Markle's in a way that is informative, entertaining, and emotionally intelligent. Of course, questions remain. How will Meghan respond, if at all? Will Trevor's revelation shift public perception, or will it fade in the constant churn of celebrity news? And more intriguingly, what does this mean for Hollywood relationships more broadly? We're left to ponder. Can love survive under the glare of public scrutiny? Can privacy be maintained in a world obsessed with celebrity? And perhaps most importantly, what lessons can we take into our own lives when navigating love, career, and personal aspirations? The story isn't over, far from it. Each new revelation, each public statement, each viral headline adds another layer to this saga, keeping audiences engaged and conversations alive. Trevor Engelson's revelation about his marriage to Meghan Markle is, in many ways, more than a celebrity scandal. It's a mirror reflecting universal human experiences: love, ambition, disappointment, and the quest for personal fulfillment. It reminds us that even those who seem to have it all face challenges, and that the choices we make in relationships have ripple effects beyond ourselves. So what's your take? Do you see this as a cautionary tale, a moment of transparency, or just another celebrity gossip headline? Share your thoughts, discuss with friends, or even reflect on your own experiences. And remember, while gossip entertains, empathy